and you're free, then don't worry about getting bored at home. Ask your husband to open a business close to your house. That's another idea. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. Thank you for calling. What's your name, please? Hello? Hello, good evening. Kolade from Ishari. Thank you for calling. How are you doing today?
So my advice for is that you should try to you just find it to be the day out of instead of sitting down or looking at or busy. Just to make yourself busy.
Okay, so she should just open a little business and find something to do.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, Kolade. Thank you for calling. All right, Kolade is saying just what Miss has said already. Just open a business close to your house and just use that to keep you busy. Use that to keep yourself busy. The boredom won't sink as deeply. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. Thank you for calling. May I know your name and where you're calling from?
I'm Jane. I'm calling from Ikorodu.
Hello, Jane. Thank you so much for calling. Please go ahead.
Okay, so that's business. I think with that she will not be bored instead of staying at home doing nothing.
Okay. Do you have any suggestions on the kind of business that she can open?
Depends on what she likes.
Okay.
Maybe hair, food stores, maybe supermarket or something. So I think you can do that instead of being bored. And did you say Tola came from what country? Is it here in Nigeria or?
I'm going to have to confirm that. She didn't quite include where she came from in the story, so I'm going to have to confirm that. But I think she came from outside the country to Nigeria.
She fucked up.
Jane, we're on radio, so please, you can't say that.
All right.
All right. Thank you very much, Jane. Thank you for calling. So Jane is saying that Tola should just open a business and find something to keep herself busy. Open a business, maybe she can start selling hair, or maybe she can open a supermarket. It's just something small that she can keep herself busy with. So Tola, if you're listening, please clarify exactly when you say you and your husband moved. When you say you moved here with your husband, were you there before, and what state were you in that you moved here with him, or were you out of the country that you moved back to Nigeria with your husband? So what exactly was the situation earlier so that we can know exactly how to give you advice? Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening. This is Talani calling from Ikorodu.
Hello, Talani. We're profiling somebody's story. Her name is Tolatu.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Please go ahead, Talani.
The advice I can give is she can go online. And if she has like handwork, she can also take it online and she can get customers from them. It can one or two things will be coming out from them. And she's always busy. So I think that can work.
Okay.
And if the husband can provide that, can get her a store nearby the house, it's okay.
All right. Thank you very much, Tolani. Thank you for calling. Okay. Tolani is saying that if she can get her husband to open something small for her, just like Promise has said, just like Kolade has agreed with, if she can get her husband to open a business for her close to the house that she can sell some things, then that would be a good idea, according to Tolani. All right, this is still Women Radio, WFM 91.7. So I did say that Tola has 2 children. One of them is 3 years old. The other one is 1 year old. So when you say she should wait until her child is a little bit older and start applying for a job, how much older do you mean? Being that the old. So Talk to me about that. All right, 07000 917 is the number to call. 07000 917 That's the number to call. You can also send your
1756537. Plenty women they talk say abba. She na me go still come cook food. This 10 o'clock where I just dey return from work. Upon say this man don dey house since 6 o'clock. What man no go see for Naija market? Na so one man look me finish tell me say madam abeg pack that certificate for corner. Na housewife fit you. Imagine my sisters. Wetin dis men want sef? Na food, respect, abi na love? We for like no because we don tire. Respect kwa. Love one thing. On top the program na woman matter. We dey gist every matter wey concern women. Whether it's life matter, relationship talk, political yarn, business, or women health matter, e dey better for ground. Every Wednesday, 3 p.m. for your Ogbonge Women Radio, 91.7. Na woman matter, na every for you. Think you know current affairs? Are you a guru in mathematics? Can you name all the countries in the world? It's the on Women Radio, WFM 91.7 is a program that takes you on a learning ride into the world of English, mathematics, art, and much more. Radio School. Thursdays, 2 to 5 p.m. Radio School is supported by City of Knowledge Academy.
25 minutes to 7 on your Women Radio WFM 91.7, Nigeria's only radio station for women and their families. Yes, welcome back to Adult Conversations. And if you're just tuning in, yes, you're welcome. This is where we share real life issues and we discuss matters relating to the heart. Today we're talking about Tola's story. Tola is saying that she's been married for 5 years, and though I'm enjoying my marriage, I am very bored. She says, I had a fast-paced career life working in public relations, and my husband has convinced me to leave the job and move here with him, leaving my family and friends behind. I'm a full-time mom with 2 children now, and I'm bored with my life and being a mother, such that I'm starting to resent my husband. I need urgent advice, please. Okay, Victor, you have a comment. All right, let's hear you.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Actually, my take on the matter is quite very simple. I think you should have a discussion with her husband, since it's a union and it's they are both into the contract together. I believe they should have an understanding of where she can function, where she can make, at least add her own quota to the family, to the upbringing of the family in general, where the husband can assist her, where he should be able to, probably in times when he probably would need to help him to take care of the kids, and she would function in other ways to add some, bring in some capital into the family, so to speak. If both of them, I believe when both of them come together to have an understanding, they can as well come up with solutions that would work for both of them, specifically for their marriage. I feel that's usually what works whenever 2 people are married. Thank you very much.
Interesting point of view. All right, so the basic point I'm understanding here is the fact that they can compromise. They can come to some kind of understanding that helps the woman to work a little bit as well and contribute in terms of finances to the family, as well as the man contributing with the children and of course with catering to the home. Now, this is an interesting compromise, but well, I guess it will be up to Tola and her husband to see if they can work this out. Tola is saying she's really bored. She's happy with her marriage. Don't get me wrong. She's happy with her marriage, but she's really bored. She's really bored. So boredom is actually a real thing, and sometimes it can get emotionally draining when you are super bored, and it just takes its toll on all your other activities, and it doesn't feel very good. So if this is something that Tola's husband can work with her on to ease the situation of things and to make it a little less boring, then this is probably something that he should consider. 07000 917 917 is the number to call. 07000 917. You can also send your text or WhatsApp messages to 0703 175 6537. Okay, kindly call back if you can. What are your thoughts on this? A lot of people will be like, oh, it really doesn't matter. I mean, if your husband is not complaining, they find this with the state of things when it comes to putting money down for the house, for your needs, for projects that you both plan to do. If there is no complaint on his end about the weight of the finances on him, a school of thought would say, you know what, just deal with the boredom. Find something to do that gives you joy, something to do that makes you happy. Not necessarily a business, but just find one way or two ways or three ways to keep yourself busy. So that would most likely be the opinion of some people. But what do you think? What do you think about this? Do you think the same, or do you think differently? Hello, good evening. Hello. Kindly call back. 07000 917 917. That's the number to call. 07000 917 917. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. Thank you very much for calling. What's your name, please?
My name is Anita Bassi. I'm calling from Italy.
Anita Bassi from Ijaye. Thank you very much for calling. Hope you're having a good day.
Yes, thank you. What I want to let this woman to know about this is something similar. This never happened to my auntie before, but now she's okay. She needs to talk to her husband. So maybe her husband can just help her get something that she will do. Maybe she can just open maybe like a supermarket for her. Then she can use some maybe sales girls to be helping her because of the children. Maybe she'll pick them from school, drop them from school, take care of them and all that, so that the stress won't be much for her. So she just needs to talk to her husband, then the husband will support her. But if the husband doesn't want her to be going out at all, she can just got something to gain online, keep herself busy online. Like, okay, you can even learn some things online. Then maybe start selling things. That was what my auntie did.
Okay.
I also said, I don't want you to work. She was like, okay. She started selling fabric. So she buy and then she ordered. She said someone, the person went to Lagos, so she got the customer number. So whatever she needs, the person will just now send to her. She'll choose whatever she wants to choose. It's not her bike and no longer working in Lagos. So whatever she chooses, they will bring it to her. She'll just do transfer to the person to come and deliver the market to her home. Then she'll post. Then whoever I want to buy, she has delivery man, so the person will just take it to the client's house, to the customer's house. That's all. And from there, she started selling jewelry. If I'm telling you that right now, even the husband, the husband later even got a big store for her. So, Sky Selling with Grace is like a company. Started from online, now this is a company now. It's a company now. So she just needs to talk to her husband. And I'm sure her husband will understand. I wish her the
Absolutely.
best of luck.
Yes, thank you very much, Anita. Thank you for calling. All right. Anita is telling us that Tola can start small. She can start small. She can start a business in the house, online, learn one or two things online that would assist with the selling of whatever it is that she chooses to sell. And then she can just always start something. Just order, resell, order, resell, order, resell. Delivery people will come over, pick it up, give to your client. Basically, a seamless flow of ordering, of purchase and resale. Yeah, basically. So that's what she's saying that she can try to do. She shared the story of her sister. Now this is basically what came to life with her sister, and now her sister has a big business that her husband actually opened for her as a result. So she's saying, Tola, maybe you should try this. Hello, good evening. Hello. Your volume is really, really low. I can barely hear you. Can you be louder?
Hello, good evening.
I really am struggling to hear you. I really am struggling right now. Kindly call back if your network is better, okay? Please call back if your network is better. The number is still 07000 917 917 07000 917 917. Also, you can send your text or WhatsApp messages to 0703 175 6537. Now, understand that she's not complaining about her marriage. She's complaining about the fact that she's bored, and that's it. So, Tola, if you're listening, tell us if your husband wants you to work at all. This question was asked earlier. Tell us if your husband wants you to work at all, or if he's the kind of person saying, I don't want you to work at all. So let us know if you can still apply for, or let's just know if he wants you to still work, or if he's okay with you working, with you still working in future. Hello, good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening. Thank you for calling. What's your name, please?
My name is Emmanuel Lopez.
Emmanuel, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Ogun State.
Okay. Thank you very much. Let's go ahead and call.
Yes, yes. Please, my husband is clear that he and her husband, there's no friction between them. My husband's theory is that she scores very well with the husband. The husband doesn't have to be outside. And since she's feeling boring, and we all are human beings, even if the husband himself, there might be certain things that will keep him indoors, and certain things will make him boring. When the environment he is, he doesn't have to interact with the people, move around with people and talk and discuss, he receives his feeling boring. So the woman should discuss with the husband and let them come at a compromise, and she related the husband also want business for her. That is depending on her choice.
Okay.
The business that will not keep her too far away from home. Because the woman, the problem is nothing other than she wants to be interacting with people, not only pinning doors and discussing with the children. After when the children leave the home to school, it will be better at home. So that is the reason of her being boring. So let her discuss very well with your husband. Let them come at a compromise to establish one thing or other, depending on her choice, that will not keep her too far away from home. So I think things will go fine. That's my good idea.
Thank you, Emmanuel. Thank you for calling. All right. Emmanuel is saying that she should talk to her husband and they should come to a compromise as regards the business to open, what business to start, what to do specifically. And he's saying that he doesn't think that, or he's saying that he thinks that it's because there is no human interaction apart from her husband and the children. So she's bored because there's nobody to talk to, there's nobody to gist with, there's no form of, all that, or that's human interaction aside her husband and her children. He's saying that's probably the reason why she's craving, all of that. And this is why she's basically bored. So Emmanuel is saying, talk to your husband, Tola. try to get him to open a business, talk about it, come to a compromise, and let's see how well that goes. The number is still 07000 917 You can send your text or WhatsApp messages to 0703 175 6537. So, Tola, if you're listening, please let us know. Does your husband want you to work? Is he still okay with you working? For instance, if you want to get another job, is he okay with that? That's one. Number two, when you say your husband convinced you to leave your job and move here with him, do you mean where were you moving from? Were you moving from outside Nigeria or in another state in Nigeria? So we can be sure of what the context really is. Okay, so what is your opinion concerning this story? What do you think? Do you think this is baseless? Do you think Tola's boredom is not justified? What do you think? Hello, good evening.
Good evening. This is Odigwe from Akute.
Odigwe, thank you for calling. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fine. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you so much. Please go ahead.
I think the husband of that lady is not caring enough.
Why do you say so?
If the husband is caring enough, the husband show her love. I don't think that woman will have that problem. And again, we can't keep a human being at home alone for so long a time. Like the other caller said, let them look for a way to open the shop. Or to even take out a place where she can exercise herself once in a while. In that case, we discover the problem we met away on its own. And honest, what they call it, comment.
All right, Odigwe, thank you so much.
God bless you.
Okay, Odigwe from Akute is saying that, again, she should talk to her husband and they should come to a compromise as regards what to do next. He also says he doesn't think that her husband loves her enough. And to which I asked, why do you say that? And he's saying, why would he want her to just stay at home, lock herself in and do nothing? So he should try to open something that she can work on or work with, and maybe give her the chance to be able to go out, go exercise and do something that can give her that human interaction that she seeks. So tell me, is this your opinion as well? And again, one thing where I want to point out, because when they look this matter like say it's small, but it's not too small like that too. It's not too small like that. To open business will be small to know, even if not small supermarket. Except when on a talk supermarket, on a they talk like kiosk, like one small shop for front of house where she could just say biscuits, provisions, some small things here and there, where she could just say just to put body and soul together. But if not supermarket on a they talk so, and I know say supermarket, no be small movement too, no be small movement at all. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening. This is Mary from behind.
Hello, Mary. Where are you calling from?
Calling from Bariga.
From Bariga. Thank you for calling, Mary. Please go ahead.
My advice for Tolani is just that maybe she should sit her husband down. She should stop things out. Maybe she should just tell her husband what she wants to do. Maybe she wants to leave. If she hasn't learned handwork, maybe she should just talk to her husband about learning any handwork, or maybe she should just look for a space. Her husband should just look for a small space. It's not a must she should be in the supermarket or so. She can just start from some technical business like ladies wear, everything. So I think with that, she won't be bored again. That's my take on that.
So you're saying she should just start a small business that will occupy her time?
Yes.
Okay.
Maybe like food stuff. She can just start with food stuff or anything that can just build,
just to make small money, Abby? All right. Thank you very much, Mary. So Mary the talk say make she just start something small. It get plenty people we don't already talk this one thing. Say make she start something small, just the reason all the business together. So make she reason what she like. Then she will follow her husband talk to her and say, honey, now this kind of business I want to do. How you see how you take care. So maybe start. I be where we want start from safe. So both of them go sit down, talk the matter well. Can't decide say that they want to be this, then we will can't start her. But Mary does not say make she just start from somewhere small first. Make she get what she do first. Whatever it is, make she just start from somewhere small first. Another thing we say, tell her husband, is it that I go talk this thing now. Is it that tell her husband no one make she work again? Or no one make she go back that her public relations job where she do before? So now tell her if you dey listen, I beg answer. Share your husband no want me work again, or just want me to do this public relations job again, or get any problem even if you say you won't go back this your work way you do before. So just tell us, is it okay with you going back to your public relations career that you had before? Is it okay with that, or is it okay with you just working, not necessarily public relations, but you working, or is it not okay with you working? Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, and thank you for calling. How are you doing today?
I'm okay. How are you?
My day has been good so far. Who am I speaking with? Thank you, Lady B. I didn't get that.
I said, come join me, chop call here.
My sister, thank you for the invite. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. All right, Lady B, go ahead.
I want to start first of all. I want to attack you.
Hey.
When they set things like this, ask questions. You have their numbers. Ask them questions before you bring it to us
All right.
to analyze.
So before you now we don't attack me, make her tell you what's in the apple.
Yes.
So she has answered all these questions previously, but just in really brief measures. So when I say are you listening and I need you to answer, it's just so that other people can hear the answer when she sends it in her own words.
Ask them the questions. Ask them. If there is a question they say, something, some cases they send to you, you ask questions, analyze it before bringing it to us. So when we are talking, you already know what you need to.
Lady B, if I dey give you story, you want me the story the long, Abi? You want me the long they go? Because say all this story they get extra background. So that it doesn't get too long. That's why we cut it short and then we ask questions in between. And then we just give in some of this extra information as the show goes on. So that's how we do it. That is how we roll, Lady B. No worry, not to spoil.
I don't catch it.
That's so now. Thank you so much. Please go ahead.
Yeah, you said something. Is it business or which word again?
Is it justifiable?
It is business, and it's not justifiable to us.
Okay.
Why?
Yes,
she
why?
is married. She is married. The Bible says whatever you join together, let no man put asunder. We can't justify anything to her if the husband does not approve of anything. It's like we are trying to bring confusion or quarrel into that house. Whatever thing we tell her to do, she cannot do it without the husband's approval. Because she has agreed to the man already before any other thing. The man said, "Fix your follow me. I want to relocate." You know that quitting that job means that now that you are married, you're under the man. So for peace to reign, you have to do what the man says to do. Without defining your relationship, your marriage with that man, say, "Man, no, I will quit my job, follow you, but I will do my job when we marry. Or after I have issue with you, if I born one or two pikin, I will go back to my work or I will do business." If the man agrees, this should be a lesson to everybody when you enter marriage. If the man agrees to your terms, because you cannot marry and become an idol inside the man's house, no matter how much billions man they give you, the one where you they do, now in the sit part, because you have responsibility, you have families to take care of. So no how the man go give you way, go reach what you go give your own family. And not be every day when you go to meet them and say, "Give me, I want give my mama, give me, I want give my papa." One day the man go tired.
Okay.
And you know, going there like that, say they drill the man like that. So if you not define the thing well, no carry that wahala come put for person here, say make it justify for you. And go and settle your score with your husband.
All right.
Because nothing they go talk now where the man never approved. Or the man don't no talk where we could tell and say, go do online business, go do this. Even online business, you need to follow up. Because not the all online business you go to house they do. Where you work, you need to follow up. Money where you transfer, you need to make sure say the goods where they send the money. What if they carry money, they don't see the money. So if the man say no come out, she go come out, make she calm down. Make she calm down, use wisdom. Take calm the husband down. Talk sweet word to the man. Cook the man better food, make him hear the sit down. You tell her what you go tell him. For the other side, make sure say when I in a good mood. Good at the right time, not at the wrong time.
Okay.
Not the right time to approach that your husband. When you know say the man will know say you said you have your own life to live. Marriage not mean say na the end of junction. Where you go say you go come be slave for house, say you dey. If you say money day, why they say money day your husband, you know fit talk to your husband and say do something for me, make I dey do something. Okay, or two of them I don't fit work. As I see the case so she no fit go work. But in case of this money day, you know, not only bottom they worry you. Tell the man, talk to your husband, not your husband.
Right.
If you can't talk to your husband, that means the marriage are not see. So make she sit down, calm herself down, have patience, use wisdom.
Right.
Talk to the man, make the man help him do something so that there will be peace at the end of the day. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Lady B. So, after all said, Lady B's basic point is that you've been in this marriage, or you must have agreed to something before you got to this point of the marriage. So, whatever the case was, you had some level of definition. And this may be right, this may not be, but this is what she's saying, that she's supposing that there was some kind of definition, some kind of agreement as to you moving with him and then quitting your job. So she's saying, let it not be as if adult conversation people they advise you say may you go may they can't cause confusion for your marriage. But she's saying basically talk to your husband, put him in a good mood, cook a nice meal for him, you know, look good, dress well, and just basically get him in that mood where he's receptive to whatever you say, and get him to agree to open up something for you, or at least to work on something with you that can provide you with something to keep yourself busy and of course to make some extra money. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, thank you for calling. Tell me your name, please, and where you're calling
My
from.
name is Israel. I'm calling from Magodo.
Israel.
Magodo, Ibrahim. I'm calling from Magodo Estate.
Ibrahim from Magoro. Thank you for calling. Please go ahead.
Magodo is from Magodo.
Magodo Estate. All right, thank you.
Magodo Unilag.
Please go ahead.
I want to choose one. So I said, I think this man has a private passport, private city for twice. So that is why I say she should follow along.
Say that again, please.
I said the man, her husband wants a private city for her. So I said she don't work again as she has to follow her. She has to follow her. I think she don't understand me. So what I was saying is that maybe her husband should just find a business for her by doing, so she can be able to get the service. So it won't be that maybe she is bored, so bored, so she can be able to be busy.
Okay.
And be able to be taking care of her children, you know. That's my advice.
All right. Thank you very much, Ibrahim. Thank you for calling.
All right.
All right. Incoming message from Tola. Tola is saying her husband wants her to work, but he wants her to stay very close to the children so that she can have most of her time dedicated to the children. He's also saying, she's also saying that he doesn't mind her going back to work as a public relations person, but he would prefer that she does not go back to that career so that she would have more time with the children. So yes, they relocated from the United Kingdom, that's the UK, back to Nigeria because he got a really good offer and they couldn't say no. So they moved back to Nigeria and her family and friends are in the UK. So this is a bit tricky for her. So she's saying that he wants her to work, but he wants her to dedicate most of her time to the children. Yes. Okay. yes, they did have this conversation before they got married, but the agreement was that she would go back to public relations after they have 2 children, which they've had now. But now he's saying he would prefer that she doesn't go back to public relations because he doesn't think she would have enough time for the children. So I think all our questions are answered. She's saying yes, her husband wants her to work. He's okay with her working, but he wants her to do something that would provide her with enough time to take care of the children. She's saying that he's okay with her going back to public relations, but he would prefer that she does not do that because of the time again dedicated to the children. Yes, they moved in from the United Kingdom back to Nigeria because her husband got a really good offer and couldn't say no to it. And now they're back in Nigeria with all her family and friends abroad. So she's been working she was working for she was working as a public relations person. And now she has been married for 5 years in Nigeria, and she's saying that she's bored with being a mother, being a full-time mom of 2 children. So now that we have the answers that we need, what is the advice to Tola? It's 3 minutes past 7 on your Women Radio, WFM 91.7. This is Adult Conversations. My name is Sumto Titilayo Ajama. And of course, we're profiling Tola's story tonight. What is advice to Tola? The number to call is 07000 917 917. 07000 917 917. Go ahead and send a text or a WhatsApp message to 0703 175 6537. What do you think Tola should do? Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. Thank you very much for calling. What's your name, please?
Yeah, this is Gloria.
Hello, Gloria. How are you today?
I'm okay, and you?
I'm great. Thank you very much.
Well, concerning the topic for today, if you look at this boredom she's complaining about, boredom actually is not really too good for one's health. It can actually make someone to think a whole lot of things. For me, I think if the husband still agree for her to go to work, there are jobs that she can do that will still be close to her children. Let her find out what she loves most to do that will not take much of her time or her energy, and that she will still have the opportunity of having time for her children. Because when a woman is working, there is always joy in you having your own money. Because it's not everything that you will ask your husband for. There's always joy, even though the husband might be catering for the children, fulfilling all the responsibility, there is always this joy that you have your own money come in. So let her look for something to do with the consent of the husband.
Okay.
And I think before they got into this marriage, there should be an agreement between them. So she should be able to discuss it with her husband. Then she should think of what kind of job she can do, since the husband doesn't want her to go back into that public relationship. So she should think of what she can do that at the same time will consume her time and will also have time for the children. That's my own opinion.
All right. Thank you so much, Gloria. Thank you for calling. Okay, Gloria is saying that there should have been a pre-agreement between Tola and her husband before they got married on this subject of work. But now that they're in this situation, she's saying that Tola should talk to her husband, and she should pitch what she wants to do to her husband and then get him to agree. So basically, she shouldn't do anything without her husband's consent, because it's important that she gets his agreement, his buy-in into the thing that she's doing or that she wants to do. So she's saying that regardless of how much your husband can give you, it's always very good as a woman when you have your own money, which, trust me, is facts. So Gloria is saying, talk to your husband, win his consent, and get him to buy into whatever it is that you have decided that you want to do. Now, there was a comment earlier that says, when your children are older, she said about a year old, you can put your children in the crèche and then resume work. Is this advisable? Is this something that is a viable option for Tola? Bear in mind, she has 2 children. One of them is 3 years old. The other is 1 year old. 3 children, 5 years in marriage, 1 3-year-old and 1 1-year-old. So let's talk. What is your suggestion? What do you think that Tola can do at this point? Should she just find whatever it is she wants to do and just go ahead with it? Particularly if it still gives her time to relate with her children. Does she need to win her husband's consent? Or what exactly is your advice to Tola? Go ahead and call back if you can. The number is still 07000 917 917. 07000 917 917. Also know that you can send a text or WhatsApp message to 0703 175 6537. 0703 175 6537. Tola is really, really bored, according to her. She relocated, well, she and her family, that's her immediate family, her husband and children, relocated from the UK to Nigeria because her husband got a really good offer back home here in Nigeria. And then, of course, she left her family and her friends behind in the UK. She'd been married for 5 years, and she's saying that now she's very bored and she doesn't know what to do. She's tired of being a stay-at-home mom so bad that she's starting to resent her husband. What do you think that Tola can do? 07000 917 917. Go ahead and call. I know you want to, so pick up the phone and call the number 07000 917 917. Send a text or WhatsApp message to 0703 175 6537. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. Thank you very much for calling. Please go ahead.
Yeah. My name is Dari from Oba.
Dari, thank you for calling.
Yeah.
What is your advice for Tola?
So actually, I really realized that there are some women that actually might not really like business due to the fact that they are so active in being a career kind of woman. So I feel she can go freelance. If this is what she really wants, let her go freelance. Let her, go online, study more, go on online school. Apart from that, go on this social media, let people know what she do, what she has passion for. If it's a public relations, she can go freelance. She can send mails to companies, tell them that this idea, this will be at her own pace, this will be at her own time, probably the remaining time in which she feels that this is her being bored. I'm sure by the time she sees her children, she's not bored. By the time she's taking care of her children, she's not bored. So at that particular time, when she's not with the children, she's not doing anything, she can just fix her schedule for that time and start doing things. Quickly drive out to so particular places, get your talk done at a particular so time, then get back, take the children. Before you know it, you are so fixed up, your whole time is so fixed up. Because pretending I'm boring is a very difficult thing. Being boring is bad. They said idle hand is a workshop to the devil, and resentment is just a level to hatred. If you start hating the husband, then that is something else entirely. It can bring up a whole lot of things. Before you know it, it's because you are hating your husband. That is why you are going to shit. That's why you are doing this. That's why you are doing all unnecessary things. So it's best if she can discuss with him. Then apart from that, let her go freelance. Let her go online. A lot of things is happening online these days. A lot of people are making money online these days. She can get herself so hooked up in that thing that she really likes. She's passionate about. Let her know more about how can I take this my passion to the next level. Apart from working for a particular brand or organization, she can be on her own. She can, anything can be done as a self-made, self-worth person.
Thank you very much, Dari.
Yes, you can take whatever it is you are doing to the next level in another way entirely. Only broke women are bored. Smart women are never bored.
Dari, everything was going on so well until you said that.
Yes, I'm
until
I'm
you
not
said
actually
that.
going
So
I'm not,
I know that was probably not the best way to frame what it is you want to say. Now I can tell you
okay.
categorically, there are lots of women who desire to be stay-at-home moms. That's what they want. That's what they
Yes.
want. So when they're bored, because they know that their joy is in their children, in their family, then they find ways to give themselves joy because that's the life they want. So those kind of women, you can't say that they're broke women. You can't just name it one thing. It doesn't apply to everybody the same way. So that's the point I was trying to
Yeah.
make. But thank you very much, Dari. Thank you for calling. All right. So Dare has said something a little bit different from what most people have said tonight. He's saying that since you're a good enough professional at public relations that you used to work at before you came back to Nigeria with your husband, you can go online and start doing something relating to public relations. Now he's saying you don't have to work for one company. You don't have to go to work every single day breaking your back for one company. You could be a freelancer working for a number of companies, consulting for them and having, income from here, income from there, income from here, income from there. And at the end of the day, you're doing well for yourself. He's also saying you can leverage social media to put your knowledge of public relations out there. It will shock you how many people want to know more about public relations on social media, that you can leverage that knowledge. And over time, as you grow your following, you can become something really big on social media. And before you know it, when it comes to public relations, you're an authority, you're a thought leader in that context. So maybe you should think about that. Okay, Femi from away is saying this is rainy season. Oh, buy corn and roast outside your house. The joy is priceless. Femi, thank you very much for that one. All right, Anthony from Mount 12 is saying my advice: Tolani should talk to her husband's family if she's scared of facing her husband because she's bored, and this can lead to frustration. Okay. All right. I got that. So you're saying she should talk to her husband's family. Maybe they can help if she's scared of facing her husband. Okay. Interesting. All right. So Tolani, that's another school of thought. If you don't want to talk to your husband by yourself, then maybe you can talk to his family to talk to him. I did say earlier, by virtue of additional information coming from Tolani, that her husband actually does want her to work. Her husband is okay with her working. He's actually okay if she doesn't work at all either. But if she chooses to work, he doesn't have a problem with it. He just wants her to do something that can give her the opportunity to have time for the two children. Something that can avail Tola with the time to cater for the home and for the children. This is his priority. So he's also saying that he would prefer that she doesn't go back to public relations because he says that will not give her the amount of time that she needs to cater for her children. So if she wants to go, no problem, but he would prefer that she doesn't go back into public relations. And of course, they relocated from the UK to Nigeria when her husband got a better job in Nigeria, and she left her family and friends behind in the United Kingdom. So at the moment, she's been 5 years in marriage, 2 children, a stay-at-home mom. And this is Tolani expressing how she feels about being a full-time mom. She's saying that she loves her husband, she loves the marriage, they're having a blissful marriage, but she's bored. She is so bored because she's just staying at home and taking care of the children from somebody that used to work back to back to back to back, job upon job, client upon client in public relations. In the United Kingdom, this is probably a rude shock for her system and something she's been probably bottling in for quite a while. She's been married for 5 years. This has been going on for 5 years. So what is your suggestion or your advice to Tola? 07000 917 917. That's the number to call. Send in your text and WhatsApp messages to 0703 175 6537. Also, If you want to have your story profiled on Adult Conversations, I'll always say this because it's important. If you want your story profiled on Adult Conversations, send in your story along with your name and telephone number. Send in your story along with your name and telephone number to 0703 175 6537. 0703 175 6537. That's the number to send your text or WhatsApp messages to. Are you interested in are you interested in basically working, having some fun while at it? Well, I guess this is what Tola is talking about. But she wants to work. She wants to have that human interaction. And this is something that is putting her at this point. She's saying she's really bored. What are your thoughts? Go ahead and call me back, 07000 917 917. Gloria from Alimosho is saying, for the 1 year, I don't think all children agree with people. I had an experience where my colleague brought her child to the crèche. She never agreed unless for me and her mother. So she needed to watch that child more closely. And that's coming from Gloria from Alimosho. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. Thank you very much for calling. Can you be louder for me, please?
Okay. My name is Oluwatosi. I'm calling from Liverpool.
Hello, Oluwatosi. Thank you for calling today. How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
Okay.
Just really want to kill us in this Ogun State.
Thank you so much for calling. Please go ahead. What are your thoughts on this one?
What I want to ask this woman is it that I also don't want her to move forward?
Okay, so that's part of the additional information that came in. Her husband doesn't mind her working, but his priority is that she has more than enough time to cater for the children. That's his biggest request. So he has even said that if she wants to go back to public relations, no wahala. But in Ogowame, she go back to public relations because they know the public relations, they give her time to focus on the children. So in the time, say any other thing you want to, just tell me.
Yes.
I dare for you. Just tell me.
What I will let her know is maybe she just let her husband know. Maybe if his husband can just open a business for her. So that would be our business. Anytime she wants, she can go to the work. Then anytime she wants, she can close and come back home and take care of the children, so that it won't affect the children, and even her marriage also. As long as the husband is ready to, as long as the husband doesn't stop her from working, just let your husband know that, okay, honey, this is what I want you to do for me. You can help me open a business, so that she can be able to retain people she can talk to and all that. So she'll be able to just get all this boringness and everything out of her mind. So she'll be able to also take care of those children. I think I understand what the man is doing. So just let your husband know that, okay, honey, this is what I want. You can help me open this type of business. And okay, something that you'll be selling, buy and sell, and you won't always be indoor. So if you want to be opening your shop or your supermarket very early in the morning, just get like sales girls there. So maybe you can just leave home by 10, then get there. Maybe by the time your children close from school, you pick them, then come back home. So whatever you are doing, you know that okay, you have someone there that you can go out, meet, and all that. So she should also try to mingle with some people a bit. She's not always indoor. And if she's going out, she'll meet people. There's no way she'll meet people. You go out to meet people, you meet people. So that's my advice to her.
Oluwatosin, thank you so much. Thank you for calling.
All right.
Meet people. Okay. All right. So Oluwatosin is basically saying that she can talk to her husband to open up a small business for her that would keep her close to the children and also just assist whenever the need arises. So this is definitely going to be a nice one. This is definitely going to be a nice one, or at least hopefully going to be a nice one. All right. So I'm interested in knowing. I'm interested in knowing what Tola's husband thinks about her working in public relations again. This time, maybe at a higher position than where she used to work at. Is it with her? Well, it's a tricky question. It is. I know it's a tricky question, but you never really know what's going on, so you might need to take some notes. All right, 22 minutes past 7 on your Women Radio, WFM 91.7. So, what are your thoughts concerning this story? If you just listen to the story, this one is that of Tolani. Tolani is telling us that she is actually married, has been married for 5 years, has 2 children, one 3-year-old and one 1-year-old. And she's basically in that state of her life where she says she's bored. She is bored. She's very bored. And she says this because it looks like, there's something going on. And there's really nothing going on. It's just that she's bored. It's just that she's bored. That's it. It's just that she's bored. So this definitely is something that a lot of people have been able to resonate with. What is your experience? Have you lived through this before? Have you experienced this before? Call in and let us give you some much needed advice. So yes, definitely just do what makes you happy at the end of the day. I have to emphasize that. I haven't spoken much about it since we opened this channel, but we definitely have to talk about, some of those things that you find, that your husband maybe finds weird and might be a cause of distraction for him. So you might be focused on that one thing when everything else is going well. So that doesn't happen. You have to be, you have to be in agreement with your husband on this, on whatever it is. The number to call is 07000 917 917. 07000 917 917. That's where to go if you want to listen live. So, the number to call is 0703 175 6537. Okay, I'm going to take this call. Hello, good evening. Hello, are you there? Good evening, thank you for calling. What's your name, please?
My name is Princess.
Princess, where are you calling from?
Ikeja.
From Ojota? Ikeja. Okay, thank you very much, Princess. Please go ahead.
Now, I actually agreed on what the lady that called before said. The husband actually agreed for her to, stay at home and take care of the children. I understand she's bored. My auntie has also faced this kind of situation before. But I think when I was there when she was facing that situation. But this is what she did. Let her talk to her husband. If she can open a business of her own choice, whatever she thinks she can do, like a business online or something that he can open for her, that she can, at least, I know she wants to leave the house, receive fresh air outside, meet people, associate with people, those kind of stuff. Let her talk to her husband to open a business for her of her own choice, the thing that she thinks that can make her happy. She can also go there and employ somebody that can work there. When it's time to pick the children up, she picks them up, and the children comes back and stay with her there, those kind of things. So I think that would be a good idea. If the husband doesn't want her to work.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Princess. Thank you for joining us. Okay. See, there are so many perspectives to view this from. And Princess just literally shed light on some of those factors, or one of those factors. There's so much that goes into opening a business. We may not know that, and it may sound very, fickle. It may sound like it's not major. She even can restaurants ní Ìbàyí and Boamashi boutique can be. So at the end of the day, it's like, not properly planned out, and everything just doesn't sit right. So basically, Princess says, talk to your husband and come to a compromise. Hello, good evening. Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening. Thank you for calling. What's your name, please?
My name is Anonymous.